Hey guys, Doug here. Just wanted to jump on and talk to you guys again. By now, hopefully you've watched some of my previous videos. I know I have a passion for helping real estate agents, specifically new and it kind of in their first year, getting off to a fast start and going forward and kind of setting up the career that they want to set up for, um, and grow their business with proven systems, coaching tips, strategies, things like that. Well, today I want to dive into one of the most important foundations for your success as a new agent, and it's this idea of finding your why. So let's talk about why it matters and how to completely change the way you approach your real estate career. Many people get into real estate for a variety of reasons, um, but the truth is, real estate is tough. The highs are incredible when you close on your first transaction, when you work with the right client that you just love and it's a pleasure to handle. Those things can feel incredible, but there also are long days, a lot of rejection, deals that fall apart, and moments where you question, is this really worth the stress of it all? This is where your why comes in. Your why is the reason you're in the business, and it becomes your fuel in these moments of doubt and uncertainty with transactions. Without it, it's really easy to quit. With it, you want to keep pushing through, while other agents stop. So your why, what is it, and what is it not? Your why can't just be about making money. Money is the result, but it's not the driver. Your why could be things like you want to create financial freedom for your family, you want to build a business that gives you flexibility and gives you your time back. You want to help people achieve the biggest goals of their lives with home ownership. Um, or maybe it's just proven to yourself that you can build something bigger than you ever imagined. Your why could just be, hey, I want to prove to myself that I can do this. It should be deeply personal. And when you know it, every late night call, every rejection, every learning curve, it totally feels worth it because it's tied to something bigger than just getting a commission check. So, why new agents should set this up early is super, super critical. Um, it's really important for new agents to know their why because the average agent takes months to close their first deal. Without a clear why, it's really easy to get discouraged and feel like you're doing everything wrong during that time. Um, your why helps you build your consistency. When you don't feel like making that call or attending that training or showing up to that event, your why reminds you that you can't afford to skip it. Your why, it builds in this natural accountability to where you're not just chasing the next shiny object, but you'll know which opportunities to align yourself with for your bigger goals and which ones are just distractions. Your why allows you to also find other people around you that can ask you about your why. So if your why is providing for your family and your goal is to set 2 appointments a day and you end your day and you don't have any appointments set, your family can ask you, hey, why were we not important enough today to set those 2 appointments? And it can motivate you to keep going and get into that. So those things are important, for accountability, consistency, and staying on track. So how do you find your why? Um, it's a hard thing to ask. And sometimes what you believe your why is, once you start thinking about it, may not end up being your why. But some easy questions that you can ask yourself to try to discover what is your why is really simply, why did you get into real estate in the first place? What was your reasoning for it? Real estate is not something that you can just fill out an application and start doing. You have to go through classes, get licensed, jump through the hoops of getting into the MLS, becoming an NAR member, those sort of things. And so you don't go through all those without having a reason for doing it. So why did you get into real estate in the first place? Another question you can ask yourself: what do you want your life to be in 5 years, and how can real estate help get you there? So maybe you have a life goal of, I want to have freedom to not miss any of my kids' soccer games, within 5 years. How can real estate help get you there? Um, Maybe it's, I want to own multiple properties or be able to take extended vacations, or what do you want your life to look like? And then another question that I think is super important to discovering your why that you can ask yourself is If I didn't need any money at all, would I still want to do this? That could be a huge question to ask yourself, not just in real estate, but just in life in general. If you didn't need the money, would you still want to do what you're doing? And that can help bring in your why. And I would suggest don't write it down, or write it down. Don't just think of it. Put it on paper. Keep it somewhere visible on your desk, um, or on a mirror that you use every morning getting ready, even as your kind of phone wallpaper. That way, when the tough days hit, you've got a reminder of why you started doing it. For me, I've got a picture right next to my computer of me and my son, and that's my son is my why, the future that I want for me and him to have together, and for him to see and be able to set up to learn from for his future as he becomes an adult. That's a big chunk of my why, and so his picture sits next to my computer screen to where it's unavoidable that I see it, hundreds of times a day. And so when I'm frustrated because I get that disappointing email, or that message comes in, or I hang up the phone from a disappointing call, it's one of the first things that I'm going to see naturally to just remind me, okay, pick the phone up again. At the end of the day, though, real estate success isn't just about knowing, your contracts and your closings and how many you do. It's about knowing yourself. It's about knowing what drives you. Um, because it may not be another closing. It may not be um, getting another transaction that drives you. But what does drive you? And how do you lean into that? Because that's what's going to keep you focused. Your why is going to help you stay consistent and moving forward no matter what this industry throws at you. And it will throw things at you. It's a constantly changing and fluid industry. Every transaction is different. Every buyer is different. Every seller is different. Every agent on the other side is different. It's going to throw things at you. Your why lets you stay consistent and focused on what you're doing within this industry. So I'd love to hear what your whys are. Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to see what some of your whys are for why you got into real estate, or why you potentially might even be looking at getting into real estate if you're at that level. If you're a new agent looking for some guidance on kind of what my next steps are, or if you're an agent that is kind of stuck or stagnant right now, I love to chat with you. There's a link below to schedule a no pressure, no obligation, confidential call just to see what our group has to offer for you in your real estate career, and for more coaching and those kind of things. Outside of that, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.